So the reason why I wanted to go in goal was because our keen keeper left our football teams so then all of our team had to take turns in goal. So then I stepped up to play in goal.
Fantastic, brilliant. And how long have you supported Manchester City?
Ooh,
not even for a second.
Okay, good. So, Dan, what was your thoughts as a parent when obviously Ruben decided he wanted to play in goal? Because again, I know there's a lot. Again, I know with you being a coach, it might not have been as bad for yourself. Again, there might be parents listening online where, again, they've got no idea about goalkeeping, and it's always a bit of a worry for when a parent hears that the goalkeeper, the child wants to play in goal, because obviously it's a thankless position, isn't it? They always get the blame, even though most of the time it's not. So, as a parent, what was your thoughts?
There's a bit of a story behind this. Rue initially started off as playing sports. He started playing rugby, and Kelly, who's listening now, she was part of the setup at Ruben's rugby team. He had no fear whatsoever. Loved diving about, loved it, didn't you? The rugby side of things. That side of it didn't bother me. It was more of if he was focused on being a keeper.
Okay.
And the night that we played a friendly and Ruben was in goal, and he was absolutely outstanding. And their coach on the other side came over to me and said he's been outstanding. That night, we had a decision to make before the season started about who wants to go in goal. And he was constantly nagging. He said, "Dad, I really want to do it. I want to be the team keeper." So I put it to a couple of lads that helped me and the team that Ruben plays for, and we all went for it. And to be honest with you, it's been quite overwhelming how well he's actually done.
Fantastic, brilliant. And what's your best memory so far, Ruben, of playing in goal?
You was captain, weren't you?
When I turned into the captain.
Okay, so you're a goalkeeping captain as well. Fantastic. So you must be putting some amazing performances in, obviously, to get captain. And I'm guessing you're quite vocal on the field to be made captain.
Yeah.
So what we do when we do training, we do like a trainer of the week, but then who's been quite vocal in that training session, they'll become the team captain. So it gets shared about, but it's obviously an end reward. And you was that last week, weren't you?
Yes.
Fantastic, brilliant. And so that, and I think, to be honest with you as well, Dan, what again are you? Do you say that are you one of the co-manager of Ruben's team?
Yeah, so there's three of us that coach. Well, four of us. We're all involved, but I run the side. I do like all the admin side of things as well. So I've got like three of my mates that help me.
Brilliant. I mean, one of the things that you've just said there, Ruben's amazing. I think it's fantastic to give the players an opportunity to be the captain, because for me, so I've been doing Just for Keepers now for over 2 decades, and obviously we do goalkeeping coaching. That so we've coached thousands upon. I've lost count how many goalkeepers we've helped over the years. It's thousands upon thousands. But for me, my mission has always been to build the self-esteem and self-confidence of my students first, and then goalkeeping becomes sort of easy, really. Then. So I think what you've done is fantastic, because I think one of the biggest things that we need to do as coaches and parents as well is build a self-esteem and self-confidence in the mindset of our child, because if we can help them to become self-resilient and self-confident, that can, especially as young goalkeepers, obviously a lot of young goalkeepers get a lot of unfair stick. But if you can help not just obviously goalkeepers, but the whole team in general, I think if you can help a child be confident, and that's something I'll go into as we go through this webinar. To me, I think that's like you can make them sort of bulletproof, if that makes sense, by making them be self-confident. So I think that's actually something I've never heard of what you've done, by the way. I'm not saying other football teams are not doing it, but that's the first time I've heard a football team allowing the players, different players, to be captain. I think that's
it was an idea that we had amongst ourselves, and it was just trying to get, like you said, then it was trying to get each individual team. When they do play, it's just don't be afraid to be vocal. Don't be afraid to. Like we've just gone to under 9, so obviously they are still really young, but it was just don't be afraid to tell your teammate, even at a young age, take some responsibility for it, or try and be vocal. Tell your teammates what to do. Like I've said to Rue, as a goalkeeper, and you'll know yourself, at the back there, you can see everything that goes on.
Yes.
So don't be afraid to start pulling your players about where you want them. And, you did that training session, you did real well, didn't you?
Yeah.
So, brilliant, yeah. But also as well, again, I'm a massive believer, Dan, as well. Is that when we do our coaching, it's about getting, like, even though they're only young, and doing it in a fun, not doing it in a strict way, not doing it serious, doing it in a fun, non-pressurized way. Is that if you can help your, like, as a parent. Again, I know that you're doing this obviously for your team, which is brilliant. But if parents who are listening to this now can do something with their goalkeeping child, with what you're doing with obviously with Ruben, that helps them in life. And again, I know that they're only children, and you've got to keep them as children. And I'm all for that. But obviously, as parents, we're responsible to make sure that when our child is adult, they get into adulthood, that they're ready for the real world. And I think, by keeping it as fun as possible and just doing something what you're doing, Dan, I think is amazing, by just letting and encouraging the children just to be vocal and not be embarrassed to be vocal, because unfortunately, a lot of the children, and again, I know all schools are not the same, but a lot of children, especially in schools, they're told, "Hey, sit down, be quiet." Again, I'm not saying that that's bad. I know obviously they've got to be disciplined in school, but I think sometimes, again, these children that are not brainwashed is the wrong word, but they're told too many times, "Shh, be quiet," And I think, as I say, these times we've got to do that as coaches and parents. But I think, as I say, what we've got to do as well is we've got to inspire our children, to be confident in themselves, as I say, to be vocal without feeling embarrassed, because that's why even adults, never mind children, most adults, they don't want to speak out because they're like, "Oh, I don't want to sound stupid." And that holds so many children back when you go into adulthood.
Yeah, as you said, it's letting them have that confidence and be free to speak their mind, especially on a football field. Because the club that Ruben plays for and our coach, when I played for him, I was captain, and it was a really proud moment for me to be captain. So I've kind of like expressed the experience onto Ru. I don't expect him to go around shouting like Roy Keane used to, or like your Steven Gerrard used to, but like I say, it's just giving them the opportunity to allow them to talk to each other, direct each other, and if that benefits the side in the longer run, then it's a bonus.
Well, honestly, I really think that is amazing, Dan. So I'm going to sort of change it a bit now, because I know over the years, and again, maybe Ruben might have had some experience with this as well. Over the years, pardon the cliche, but if I would have had £1 or $1 or €1 for every time a parent has approached me and said, "Ray, that their child is losing their confidence, maybe because of an egotistical coach, maybe because parents are shouting things on the line that are not positive, maybe the players of the team are shouting things, especially when a goal goes in, like I say, because 99.9% of even coaches and the parents online, and especially the players, don't understand goalkeeping. When a goal goes in, because they don't understand why the goal goes in, they go, "Well, it's the goalkeeper's fault," which is annoying. But we're never going to get away from that. So obviously, it sounds like a real positive environment that you and your coaches have created, which is
what you just said then, Ray, was I'll have to hold my hands up there at one point, because on Sunday I did kind of react a little bit to you, didn't I, when he let a goal in, and in my opinion he could have done better, but because his standards have been like from here and shot himself up to there, I kind of reacted in a way. It was only till my mate, who helps me coach, David, said, "Dan, just calm down." But it was just that instant reaction of, I thought he could have done better. but then I had to apologise, didn't I?
But you know what, though? First of all, thank you for being honest and saying that most grown men will not will admit to that. I say so. It's, appreciate that you've said that. And again, if there's any fathers listening now, including myself, we've all done that ourselves. Dan, you know what I mean? Because we want that much for our children. Sometimes our mouth works faster than our brains, because we're there instinctively. And again, as I say, for any parents listening, I'm sure you're already, already sort of addressed this, but one of the things that, as parents, whether you're a mother or a father, a grandparent, etc., we've got to be the cheerleaders for our goalkeeping children, because, there's that many people, and I'm not saying intentionally, most of it is unintentionally, like other parents on the lines, or, sometimes it could be a coach who's ignorant, etc. But there's too many people are ready to point the finger at our goalkeeping children. So as parents, we've got to be their cheerleader, So again, as I say, so for any parents listening, and again, I'm sure you know this, Dan, as I say, so Denton from South Africa, Dana said, well done, Dan. Well done, Dan. Hats off. So obviously, because that really, obviously, that really helps. And I think, for any parents, mother, father, grandparent, like I've already said, if your goalkeeping child, does something on the field, the first thing is, I know it's our first instinct to go, but I think it's just like, take a breath, clap your hands, and just go, come on, Egg, don't worry, come on, come on, you better. Give them encouragement. As I say, hey, come on, Brennan, don't worry, encouragement. And then, as I say, maybe at our half time, have a quiet word and say, listen, look, you should have had that, but don't worry, I know at the end of the game, and this is what's important as well, at the end of the game, I'm not trying to plug me book here, guys. Again, if anyone actually wants the book, you can actually have a free copy. So I'm not trying to sell you the book. I've got a book there called The Ultimate Guide. Sorry, I forgot what it's called now. The Ultimate Guide for Parents and Goalkeepers. So if you want to, leave you a comment, and I'll in the comments box, and I'll send you a free copy. So I'm not trying to sell anything there, but what I mentioned in the book is that it's super important at the end of a game, if your goalkeeping child has made a mistake or they could have done better with something, and is at the end, first of all, it's like, obviously, talk about the mistake, because you've got to, and then all of a sudden say, right, what do you think you could have done better? And once your goalkeeping child says, okay, this, and have a bit of a conversation, okay, maybe this, you forget about it. Or maybe in training, maybe, or when you get home and go to the local field, if you can try and reenact what happened. So obviously, so your goalkeeping child sort of makes the save, if that makes sense. That's it. You forget about it then. Again, a lot of parents, have been guilty of this, and not too sure about yourself, Dan, where is that you'll just keep going on about it. Look, remember that mistake, don't do it again. And then even though that you're trying to help your goalkeeping child, guys, if you keep going on about that, they'll get more and more worried. So after the game, you address it, and then you say to your child, hey, what do you think you should have done? And then between you go, that's what you should have done. And you forget about it. You forget about it.
What I was quite bad at, and I